Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV on YouTube now, and this is the top story segment. Let me quickly tell you how it works. So every morning on Good Morning India, I ask you viewers, I give you 5 options and I ask you what are the stories that you are most interested in. The ones you vote for is what we discuss in detail, all offline, off air on YouTube, connecting to all our social media followers as well. So let's take a look quickly at how it's coming up this morning. We gave you 5 options. It all started with the Nobel Laureate Abhijit Banerjee, his meeting with the Prime Minister. That's got 56% of you actually want to know details about that, followed by the heavy rain alert situation in the south of the country. Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu West hit over there. In UP as well, the hunt for the Hindu leaders' killers, that has also garnered some interest. But before that, people very interested to know what happened to this spiritual guru who has now been raided by authorities and crores were recovered from him. That's the number 3 of your votes, and people also obviously interested in the Bangladesh cricketers' strike as well. So those were the top 5. Top 1, let's begin with story which has been voted for the most, and it's obviously got to do with the meeting between the Prime Minister and the Nobel laureate. So there's a background to this story. There has been, just last week when the entire announcement came out of the Nobel Prize, very quickly we had top leaders in the BJP, including a union minister, Piyush Goyal to be precise, who went out in a press conference on record, on camera, to say that Professor Banerjee is actually very left-leaning. Those were exactly his words. And also said that he has given his views on Nyay. Nyay, remember, was a poll promise of the Congress party and was fielded extensively by Rahul Gandhi in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. So Piyush Goyal trying to say that he leans a little bit on the left side, and that people of the country, because they rejected Nyay and rejected the Congress party, they have rejected his policy as well. Those statements made a lot of controversy, especially. Why? Because Professor Banerjee's Nobel Prize has come to him on an issue which is so core and central to the country. It's about poverty elevation, and the world has recognized him on this forum. But since he sided with the Congress, worked with the Congress on this, there was a lot of criticism, a lot of trolling online as well followed after those comments. But today, it's going to be a very interesting meeting because we'll have Mr. Banerjee and Prime Minister Modi in a single frame. He's been invited to the Prime Minister's residence this morning at his house in the national capital. He'll be there. There'll be a meeting. Courtesy call is what is being called. And post that, while we might not hear from the Prime Minister himself, there will be a press conference by Professor Banerjee, and that's going to happen around 1:30 or so this afternoon, where obviously everybody is going to be thinking about whether or not they discussed Piyush Goyal's comments at all in that meeting. So that has obviously generated a lot of interest. Let me actually show you what exactly is it that Piyush Goyal had said. So this is the exact quote, and all the details are available on ndtv.com as well, where I'm reading all this from. He said that left-leaning person Abhijit Banerjee won the Nobel Prize. I congratulate him. But you all know that what his understanding is. His thinking is totally left-leaning. He has praised the Nyay scheme, but the people of India totally rejected his thinking. Also, a bit about the Nyay scheme over there. Nyay scheme was one, like I said, was a poll plank and a poll promise of the Congress party. They had gone ahead to promise about 72,000 a year to each of the 20% families who are poorest of the poor category in the country. There was also a bit of criticism in the fact that our Prime Minister, who's very tech savvy and is very quick to respond on social media, took a bit of time to actually congratulate him on social media. And this was the tweet that came in from the Prime Minister. He obviously congratulated him. NDTV also had an exclusive chat with Dr. Banerjee, and they asked him precisely this. Dr. Banerjee to that, in a very in a delicate way of handling this situation, went out to say that his stand on policy and economy is not based on any parties, and he's consulted with several governments, including the Gujarat government when Prime Minister Modi was the chief minister, so it shouldn't be seen as partisan at all. So he kind of buried the issue over there, did not respond back to Piyush Goyal, but will he bring that up with the Prime Minister? That seems to be the key question today. So that was story number 1. Let's go to story number 2 now, that you have all voted extensively for, and that is about the rain situation in Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Well, remember, Kerala specifically is one state which has suffered a lot due to flooding this year alone. And yes, just yesterday, while bipolls were on, there was extensive rain that led to a lot of people participating, not so much in the electoral process. There was a lot of scare and orange alert warning. In fact, to be precise, the IMD issued a red alert for 4 districts here. It was Idukki, it was Palakkad, Malappuram as well, and that is for today. And an orange alert had been sounded in 9 other places. The good news this morning, however, is that there was a bit of sunlight and clear skies in the morning when we spoke to our correspondents on the ground. And at the moment, there is a revision to this story. So good news coming your way. And that is that now that warning has been withdrawn. Our reporter, Sneha Merikoshi, is telling us that the IMD has now lifted the red alert for Kerala. And except one district, no orange alert has also been put out in place, and the heavy rain forecast for Kerala has also been withdrawn. So that's a good news coming in. The weather gods have been kind. So this is something for all of you to cheer about. But however, like she said, there's one district where an orange alert is still there, and there has to be precautions, and the disaster management team is already on standby in all those areas to try and see that not much goes out of hand. So that was story number 2. Let's look at story number 3 that got most reviews, and I'm not surprised with that. It's about the crores that have been recovered from the spiritual guru. That's got 14% of reviews. Now, who is this man, and how is it that this so-called spiritual guru actually had 88 kgs of gold jewelry, 26 crores in value? Similarly, diamonds that were worth over 1271 carat. Along with that, about 5 crores of just cash lying all around. If I were to show you the visual that really came in, so this is what it looked like. This was the recovery made by the agencies when they went over there. Stacks and stacks of cash that was found all around on this so-called guru, Kalki Bhagwan. Now, at the moment, what is the status on this story? At the moment, the authorities say they haven't been able to trace him. When that news got out, it obviously does not go in the favor of the guru. He released a video message. In that video message, he tells his followers that everything is fine and that he's not eloped. He's fine, he's in good health. But this video that came out from an undisclosed location, he talks to them about how they are abiding by the law and they will participate in all the processes. But the thing to really question in all of this is the fact that he's not available for questioning at the moment. His lawyers are dealing with the case. Let's look at a few more fascinating details that are coming out. A string of 40 premises connected to the trust and the companies that he runs were looked into. And in the name of wellness courses, all this money was found out. Searches were carried out in Chennai, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, in Andhra Pradesh. So all over the place, they went on to find the belongings and they discovered this massive account. Now, a total sum of 43.9 crore in cash was seized by the department during these searches, and American currency as well. That was worth about 18 crore, and foreign exchange and other currencies were also found. Some companies of his are based not just in India, mind you, in China, in USA, in Singapore, in UAE. All have received payments from foreign clients who attended the various wellness courses that he offered. So that's where it stands. Interesting indeed how he went on, and will he manage to justify all this wealth is what is going to be the key now. Let's quickly look at the other stories at the moment. The other thing that you have shown interest in the hunt of the Uttar Pradesh leader's killer and the Bangladesh cricketers on strike. Now when it comes to the Hindu leader who was killed in a rather very, very dramatic way, it sounds like a thriller almost when you look at the way he was killed. The interesting bit in this has been that in the past 3 days, there have been different versions that have come out by the UP police. And also what's very interesting, and what our colleague Alok Pandey has been pointing out since morning in our broadcast as well, has been that there has been an unusual amount of evidence lying all over the crime scene, including the weapon of crime, including the clothes they wore, including a lot of other details like giving in your actual names. So this is really unprecedented. If you're going to commit a murder or any crime for that matter, and especially when you're doing it in a planned manner with a group of people, you don't expect to throw back and leave behind such staggering evidence against you. But that has happened in this case, which is a point to think about. But despite this, the other flip side to the stories, but despite all these clear leads lying all over the place, the police haven't managed to pick up these killers yet. And now they have given out a cash prize of almost 2 lakh rupees to anybody who identifies these killers as well. So that was the story. Now at number 4. Number 5 is the Bangladesh cricketers on strike. The update on this has just come from our colleague Munideepa Banerjee, who has sent us details about Sheikh Hasina, who will be at Eden Garden on the 21st of November for Bangladesh to be playing their first ever test match at Eden Garden, their neighbors right there, West Bengal. But they have decided to boycott this. They are going on strike, and there are 11 demands that they have raised in these because of why they are going on strike. That includes for better domestic players, better pay for them, etc. Now, interestingly, this comes at a time and exactly at the match which their Prime Minister is expected to attend, and also at a time when the BCCI presidential-elect is Saurabh Ganguly, who also comes from Bengal. So a lot of back-channel talks are going to take place on this front. A lot of talks are also going to take place diplomatically and between the two neighbors at this point. So let's see how that story unfolds. So for the moment, that's all we have for you on Top Stories. Like we said, this is NDTV on YouTube. Stay tuned to get all the updates live over here.